That's going live. Sweet. There's that. So let me get some links going here. Oh, come on. Google. There we go. Not Google. ATS. And I can even check my sounds. Hope everyone's having a good weekend. Yes. Mine was slightly unproductive because I can even check my sounds. I did not get my parts I wanted. Having a good weekend for working on the truck. Mine was slightly unproductive because I did not get my parts I wanted for working on the truck. Okay. Now I got that done. Yeah, I was hoping FedEx would bring me my resistors. And apparently FedEx will charge you for 3-day shipping even when they can't get it to you in 3 days. Doesn't even matter. So, no resistors, no video on the truck. We're gonna check out the T100, which is a mod truck, and then we'll look at some other mod trucks as well. Hopefully my link's posted right. Okay, close that. And we can minimize you a little bit. And get OBS up on top. So, sweet. Now we'll get in the game here. I should probably minimize myself first. Not move me, shrink me. Yeah, that'll work. Now I'm off in the corner. So this is the Kenworth T100 cab over, the way I have it spec'd out. I didn't realize you could actually put a or a lift axle on the truck. So I spec'd mine out as a heavy haul, even though there are no banners for the bumper. Go over here to Truck Manager. Put 1,100 miles on it right now. I forget where we're at. But, oh, the K100E, excuse me. And I do have some other mods installed we can check out while we're sitting here in the office. So we'll go over to Truck Dealers, access the mod. So here is a couple of versions of the K100E. And there's a fair bit of customization to them, not over the top amount of customization, but a bit. Then of course you got some DLC trucks and some mod trucks. The 9800's mod, the 9900, and then the 9300. The HX520, I believe, is a DLC truck. Of course, Freightliner, we got the Coronado, which I wish it had some more customization to it. The FLB and the Argosy. Peterbilt, for some reason this Argosy's in the Peterbilt menu too. The Max Superliner is the only mod I do not have from Steam directly. I got it off of the SCS forums. The CHU 613 is on Steam. And then GTM has the T800, which is what I used to drive for work. Yeah. Let's jump in. We'll find a load here. Get started. We might build one of them other trucks later. Where are we at? I think we're somewhere in Texas. We're over in Lufkin, Texas. I haven't gotten all of Texas explored yet. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 towns I haven't actually discovered. So let's see if we can find something. Maybe go over to San Angelo or Junction. Surprised I haven't been through Austin even. So what do we got? Let's see here. We can go short run. I have a lowboy trailer hooked up at the moment, so over to Amarillo, Brownsville. And what else do we got? Carlsbad, Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi. That's the one I just did. Backwards. New Mexico, Flagstaff, Fort Stockton. Will that get us through Austin Junction? That's a lot of trailer for a bucket. Houston, Huntsville. Not that far. Oh, I haven't been up there. Let's run a backhoe up there to Longview, Texas. Yeah, I was really hoping to have my resistors in so we could do a video on soldering up the light kit on the Grand Hauler. They still haven't shown up yet. And I got the lift axle bent, but I'm not 100% thrilled with it. So that video footage. So here's the way the truck's set up. Got my paint matched lowboy. With a 605 horsepower Cummins. I peaked a little bit there. And I apparently can't remember what my buttons do. So here's the inside of the truck. Got the Vault Boy bobblehead, hard hat, old cell phone. Got the bunks. Truck's really nicely detailed. And I finally have a graphics card where I can turn all of my graphics up to high. I really hope I don't have to loop around to find it. Okay, did we do... I think it was a World of Trucks contract. No, but there is one. Let's go back over here to Cargo Market. Take Jeff. And now we got to loop around the building, I think. Yep. We're going to be facing the wrong way, but I'm going to get close enough so we can just hit enter to skip the parking and just get loaded. And of course, we're going to be driving through the dark. So that's a lot of trailer for backhoe. That's what we got. Wanted to make sure my lift axle is still lifted since we don't need it. Get all our lights on. Still running a 13 speed. It's just my preferred transmission. And I'm super happy with the better graphics card. I went from a 980 to a 3060, so definitely makes a big difference on how the game looks. Being able to turn everything up to ultra. I can actually have the mirror draw distance high enough you can see behind you. It's actually louder in the truck than it is outside the truck. So yeah, that's now the 4th time I've paid for 3-day shipping and not had to get here in 3 days. That's kind of getting aggravating. And it's not like resistors are heavy. But previous times, if you've seen any other live streams, I haven't even had the other cars' lights drawn on the road. So, having lights on all the vehicles, having the mirrors maxed out, the reflections maxed out, boy, that's really nice. Alright, we're in Texas. Why aren't we doing 80 mile an hour? The 3060 actually will run more monitors than that 980 will, so you'll actually see me looking up now instead of to my side, because now I have the game on my monitor, and then I have OBS and my YouTube stream info up on the TV above the monitor. So now I can kind of monitor all of that and not have to pause the game, switch windows on my one screen. I can just glance up and go, oh, alright, that's where all my audio levels are at. Apparently I'm talking loud because I keep going up close to the red, so let's pause so I can fix that. So we'll go here, go there. I'll turn my audio down just a little bit so I'm not constantly up close to the red, blowing your eardrums out. That looks good. So now we'll come back here to ATS. Get back to driving. That was a lot easier. Still looks kind of high. do have lights on the truck and strobes on the trailer for when we do get oversized. Excuse me. Yep, we're a little off the road there. And of course, since it's 9 o'clock at night in the game, we can't see anything to see how good the graphics card makes everything. At least now we can run up to 70. Turn my cruise control off instead of on. So hopefully my resistors will show up Monday and I can get the lights working on the grand hauler. And the lift axle I had to weld together and didn't get everything quite as straight as I would have liked. Thanks for pulling in front of me and slowing down. Just like people do in real life. Well, they kind of hung back, so we're coming over. That is the one thing I got to give the game. I've said it many times, but their artificial dumb, pretty spot on. And now that I have a graphics card that'll run everything, I can actually enjoy playing the game even more now. Not that I didn't enjoy it with the lower graphics card and the lower settings, but the higher graphics card, I've still get a couple stutters here and there, but not as bad. The game does have a lot of assets it's got to load, so having a little better card helps. But you can still enjoy the game fairly easily without a high-end PC. I need the longer light mod, which is on Steam. I've seen people on other YouTubers kind of complain when they review paid for mods. And one gentleman in particular was quite upset that the mod wasn't free. And got even more upset when he was pointed out that, you know, it takes time to make mods and they should be compensated for their time. And when pointed out that there were free mods on Steam, he claimed he couldn't find them. So I got on Steam, found some truck mods, put them in a response, and said, there you go. Free truck mods. And it's kind of odd how some people think like that. I'm still kind of peeking a bit. We don't think this person who put in, you know, hours and hours and hours of time should not be compensated for something for that time. Kind of like how people don't think artists should get paid It's like, you should do it for the exposure. No, I still have rent to pay. And there are places you can find those mods pirated, which doesn't do anyone any favors, because the people who make the mods see them on those free sites. They think, well, if people are going to just steal them, why bother making them? So then we have fewer people making mods. I get it, not everybody can spend money on a truck. But at the same time, I think those people, if they can get some scratch for it, they should. I don't know how to, I know how much effort it takes to make the truck model and code everything so it works right. It takes a lot of time. So it's certainly not the easiest thing in the world to do. All right, car speed up. But we'll get this short run done, and then maybe we'll check out a T800 or one of the other mod trucks. We'll build something up because I cheated and have tons of money. I don't play ATS to experience truck driving. I drive trucks in real life. I play ATS because I enjoy driving trucks and I just want to drive the truck I want to drive. So there are money mods, so you can make tons and tons of money off of just a few trips. That's how I have $45 billion or whatever I'm up to. But the K100, pretty cool truck. Like I said, I got mine set up for heavy haul. I know it's dark, so it's kind of hard to see. Are we going to make it? Yeah, we'll make it. Just that the turn arrows and the yellows are short. We only got 19 more miles to go anyways. Could have pulled over and slept. But let's let time pass a little more in the game. Like I said, maybe we'll go build another truck. And maybe by that time we can get back into the daylight. This is the first time watching the stream. I don't have a sim set up. I just use gamepad and keyboard. Again, I drive truck in real life. I don't need the full setup to play the game. Oh, we're going right here to this construction thing. And they already have an excavator here and a dozer. Why do they need a bulldozer? Or a backhoe? Turn around. Nah, we're not going to do that. Only went 119 miles. Almost up to level 50. Okay, let's find us. Let's fast travel to Dallas. And I need a garage over here. So we can park the truck. Then we'll build a mod truck. Let's hit the right button. Right. Kind of show you some of the mods you can do on the truck. Got a couple different cab options. You do have short. I'm not sure what's the difference between A and B. Maybe fuel tank size, prime mover. And then you have the 8x4 chassis, which is what I'm running. Running the performance X15. And there's a 3406 Cat pack car, which pack car I don't think was a thing when the K100 was out. Detroit 60 series, some more pack cars, M11, and then 444. You can get 2 of the Screaming Jimmies, which I'm not going deaf on in a video game. Just to have an engine noise. A few different transmissions. Interior, there are several color interiors. I'm running tan. Paint job, this is my metallic paint, but there are plenty of paint jobs to choose from for this truck. And I believe you can adjust every single one of those colors to what you'd like. And then of course you got just normal colors. Come over here to accessories, bumper, several bull bar options. You can get aero bumpers, paint, or just black, and then just some standard chrome. Let's see here, let's find the grill. You can change how many bars are on the grill. Bumper mud flaps, middle mud flaps. You can change the ladder, original ladder, aero ladder, Australian ladder, and a European style ladder. Some of these are interior ones too, like GPS, trim. 4 different sun visors. You got 2 different sets of roof lamps and a couple of horns you can choose from. Top lamps, again, 2 of those. Exhaust rack, that changes how it's set up. Right now I got dual intake, which is also dual exhaust. Or you can do single exhaust, single intake. Shield, you can put a heat shield on it or not. A few different, you can have 5 or 7 inch diameter stacks, and then they're short, medium, and long for each one of those. You can change your intake height to match the cab, and then what kind of cap is on the intake. Let's see here. Now I got to remember how you look at the truck to get the fenders, because the nodes are kind of weird. Yep, there's the fenders. Paintable fenders, chrome fenders, metal fender, and then quarter fender. You can also get the Aero package on it. And then we can get rid of the GPS because we use the one on the map. But the dashboard sets, you have plenty of places to put stuff from the dashboard. If you have SISL packs, you can put all kinds of stuff on there. We can put oh, I thought it was a hat, but apparently it's a pack of camels. Mars bar, some biscuits, travel expense charts, some books, more cigarettes, tissue, some toys. Again, it's a pretty large mod list for SISLs. You do get a few wheel options. Actually, I think you get all of them, minus the ones that are mods, of course. Apparently SISL put in all the steering wheels. Right, we're not going to change that, so yeah, we'll change that. Alright, so let's go. Let's build us a truck. So truck dealers. Let's do a garage purchase. That way we don't have to drive all over the place for it. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's do the T800. We'll customize the T800. This, forget the exact year on this one. This is the newer trucks. The 2006 I had, the roof was flat. And I did a video on this truck a while ago, but since it's been a while, let's see, we got day cab, studio sleeper, Aero sleeper. I kind of like the shorter roof lines myself. Let's see here, 6x2 rear steer. That's kind of weird. Do 8x4, 8x4 steerable, an extra long 6x4, which is probably the same wheelbase as the 8x4, but just minus this axle. What do we got for engines? Well, it didn't put us at the bottom of the barrel. Let's see, we got a X15 at 605 and a C15 Cat with 625. Not a big fan of Cat, but not building this truck for me. I'm just building it to show it off. 10 speeds, 13 speed, 10 speed. We'll probably get 18 speed in there somewhere. And a couple of them. 325, 325. Let's do the 13 speed with 355 rear ends. Interior. Ooh. You got slate gray Splendor. Sure. Diamond. That's just not very attractive. And blue. And we'll do the diamond tuck. Do the diamond tuck interior. Paint jobs. Got standard, probably Kenworth paint. Metallic cyan. That's kind of cool. Again, you can change the paint on all those colors. Let's do that, and then we'll do the gray stripes. I think we'll actually make, oh, that's the hood. Paint that color. Alright, so how do you change the stripes? Apparently you don't. Lame. Yeah, you can change every color but the stripes. We could do hot rod flames. Stars to stripes. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, let's go. Let's just paint it my colors. Be done with it. Alright, accessories. Right, this has the banner, the other truck didn't. That's kind of goofy looking. Tactical. Big old monster bull bar on it. I know some people really like those low slung bumpers. I am not. Those steps would, if those steps weren't there, that'd be a great choice. Let's just go with the classic. Fender guards, we can do headlight trim. Fender trim. Put some real wide fenders on there, I guess. We don't need that. Let's see, we got front mirrors. I don't run front mirrors. Bug guard. That's mirror standard. Don't want to see. Let's do the paint. Kind of like the paint. Okay, this truck has the individual light nodes unlike the last one, so you can change how many mode. We could put some lights, some night lights up on the cab. There we go. Really be obnoxious. Accessory slot, horns, yeah, horn adapter. Sound fix horns. I've never actually ran those. Train horn. Yeah. Then I got those sets of train horns too. Roof sleeper lights. Turbo wing. Do the big old chrome wing or the classic spoiler. Again, I like the lower roof line because I like pulling flatbed, so you don't really need mirrors. Modern mirrors are, they're not bad. I kind of like them because they're not chrome. We got standard or plain. We're really spoiled for choice there. Air filters, there we go. Throw the, oh, you can't have the modern lights with the air cleaner. That makes sense. Cab panels, we can do lots of lights. Rims, I have 2 rim mods, so I have a lot of Alcoas, including some Steelies, which are kind of cool. Mix it up a little bit. It's fine. Old logo. There we go. We'll go chrome. Won't worry about the tires. Headache rack. So the headache racks, some of these are in a different mod that the author made for them. This is just the standard headache rack in the game. That's a headache rack. We'll do that one. I like running headache racks. And could just run that as paint, but might as well chrome her out. That's not the polished one. Go down to the polished one. Mud flaps. We got SCS mud flaps. Or chrome. Actually surprised. There we go. Don't want those tires kicking up rocks on our paint. Doesn't look like there's anything else you can do to the frame. Pop inside. Air conditioner items, bug deflector, dashboard sets, console items. Yeah, this interior is way fancier than the one in the truck I had. Don't have a lot of wheel choice. Air filters. Floor items. Throw the backpack down there. Accessories. If you have some flags, you can actually customize some posters. I don't know how you do that. I haven't bothered to look up in the yeah, we got $46 million. I think we'll be all right. Okay, truck manager. Let's see, we'll drive it. Yeah, I know the trailer will be dismissed. And loading screen. We got our Alright, let's get us a trailer. And I got a few. Let's see here. One that's not being used. Yeah, let's run that one. So let's see here. It's in Roswell, so we'll relocate it to Dallas. And we'll use it. Okay, I'm in Dallas, why didn't it hook up? There. Where am I? Oh, we're in Roswell. That's why. That's annoying. There. Relocate. To Dallas. Then we'll move the truck over to Dallas. These menus sometimes are a pain in the butt. Captain Punk. That's kind of a neat shot. I don't know where they are. Alright, now maybe we can hook onto the trailer. Yes. Yes, I do. Alright, let's find us. Let's see. We're in Dallas, so we should have plenty of loads. Let's do tubes. That might be a good one. Dumpsters. Dumpsters, waste paper, concrete barriers, aircraft engines. Those pay really good. At least in real life, they pay really good. Houston, Jackpot, Nevada, cotton lint, empty pallets. Yeah, I think pipes are going to be the cool thing. Unless we go with a tank. Yeah, let's go with the pipes. Tubes. Oops, if you take the brakes off. Game always defaults those axles to down. Are we going to make it? No, because I didn't start turning fast enough. Three-speed rear end, reverse. Interesting. Forgot it was still night, so I should have napped. Them are some bright lights. Have my high beams on? No, I did not have my high beams on. Let's go ahead and make it daylight real quick. did we pull through the wrong way? Alright, how close do you gotta be? There we go. Let's make it daylight. Oh, raining. T800's not a bad looking truck. And we're going the wrong way still. Good thing it's a game and nobody's going to yell at us for it. The old 625 Caterpillar's a lot quieter than that modified Cummins in the other truck. A lot louder in the cab. Jesus. Of course, none of the mirrors are adjusted yet. Go through all their security checks. Really glad I don't have to do this in real life. I imagine most of the time it's not bad. But I also imagine, boy, if the paperwork doesn't have its T's crossed and its I's dotted, it might make for a supreme headache trying to get in and out of these places. We'll get the mirrors adjusted and stuff after we get loaded. Some impressive horns. Apparently those expired. That's a hell of a hole. That one. Apparently sleeping screwed up our things. I haven't been through Austin, so I guess we'll take waste paper. Train axles. That might not be too bad. 27,000 pounds of train axles or 38,000 pounds of waste paper. Boy, they packed that shit tight. Utility poles. Dallas to Houston. Let's do the waste paper. If we'd gotten the drop deck, we could have got those. Yeah, let's skip it. We're in a hurry. Not really. So we're not even heavy enough to need our tags or lift axles. The train's noisy. Yeah, we don't even have full trailer. We could have taken a lot more. Yeah, we just got to get out of here. And stop, haha. I'd imagine in real life this particular rail yard is probably really busy. I don't imagine you could roll through a stop sign and just go ha-ha, and they would be happy about it. Radiation detectors. Got to make sure nobody put any radioactive paper in there. That's a loud gate. We'll stop right now. I'll stay outside the cab just to kind of enjoy the rain and not listen to the poorly insulated cab. Swung that a little wide. Apparently we're not jumping right back on the interstate. We're going down the frontage road. It's interesting. I haven't been this way apparently. If you're just tuning in, there is no video today because my resistors did not show up. And I'm not really happy with the lift axle I made. So that is why there's no actual upload today. And we're streaming. And since I was kind of going to play the game anyways, I figured I'd stream it and hang out with everybody. So I do appreciate you watching. don't know why it had to come this way when we could have just got on the interstate. ATS must use the same GPS routing as Google does in real life. We're going to go the nonsensical way. That's right. But now that we're in the daylight, you can see that the trees and the shadows are all maxed out. I guess we didn't have to slow down to 20 or 30 mile an hour. Anybody coming? Nope. When I actually started at the truss plant, the T800 I had 400,000, 450,000, 475,000, I forget which. And when it caught fire June of last year, we were at 662,000 miles on it. Probably could have beat it, but the game occasionally puts up an invisible wall. And that'll bring you to a dead stop. We'll honk at the train guy. He's got a lot of empty wood rails on him. So yeah, put just about 200,000 miles on that truck in the time I drove it. Which, if you're OTR, that's not really a lot of miles. But when you consider 90% of those 200,000 miles was just in Idaho, we got a new viewpoint up ahead. And if the Mac hadn't had any problems, I'd probably be closer to 30,000 on it in the short time we've had it. But between it and the trailer needing fixed, and we've slowed down quite a bit. Can I get over? Sorry, fire truck, we went over. I mean, we're here, might as well check out the viewpoint. It's a good looking truck. The only problem I had with my T800 was it was such a short wheelbase. It just rode like crap. The truck's wheelbase will almost affect its ride quality more than the suspension it has. Because, yeah, the Mac has steel springs. It's a longer wheelbase, so it actually rode better than the T800 with the quad bag airbag setup. So you can have even a solid rubber bushing suspension that rides better than air if it's got the right wheelbase on it. Because I've driven, most trash trucks have a walking beam with a solid rubber suspension on them. And even those trucks rode better than that T800. Just really depends on the wheelbase more than the suspension and how much weight you're averaging. The only time I really didn't like the steel springs in the Mac I got now is running up to Stanley. Once you get over Galena Summit, the frost heaves are just so bad, it'll just beat the snot out of you. It was bad enough, the trailer, that's actually one of the reasons why the trailer was in the shop, it never tracked straight, even when it was brand new. But 2 trips up to Stanley just knocked that alignment out even worse. To the point of, we definitely need to get it fixed, because it was going to start wearing the tires real unevenly on the trailer. And when the trailer really kind of dog legs one way or the other, it does make it harder to back up. Especially when the adjustment bolt isn't super tight. So it'll kind of change trailer alignment backing over curbs and stuff. But thankfully Mitch is an awesome mechanic. Him and Lane got it in the shop. Of course, to adjust that, you have to pick the trailer up high enough to get the axles off the ground. So they told me they got it straightened out, and it wasn't a fight. Because of course the trailer's new enough that none of the hardware was completely rusted up. So now the trailer tracks straight, makes it easier to back up. And he wasn't really going to mess with it, other than the fact the trailer was actually doglegging 2, like if you're driving down 4-lane like this, the trailer was off tracking over into the other lane. And that's kind of a big no-no. If it had off-tracked over to the curb, we'd have probably let it slide for a little longer. But it had just gotten so out of kilter, we really kind of needed to get it taken care of before we started chewing up tires, as trailer tires are not cheap. So better to get it fixed now instead of waiting until it chews up a set of tires. We've got a KFC. Got 2 of them. Let's turn right into that left lane, so we're not cutting anybody off again. I don't think this Caterpillar pulls as good as that Cummins in the other truck. Of course, the other truck might have also had lower gears. I don't remember what transmission and final drive I had in that truck was. I mean, I know it was a 13 speed, but I don't remember the final drive. Texas Roadhouse in Texas. I've been through Texas. I haven't been a lot of places in Texas. I think we went through I-10 to somewhere, and then partway through Texas we jumped up to Interstate 44 in Oklahoma and went into Missouri that way. In-N-Out Burger, Mickey D's. Hope no one's hungry. That was our first stutter in the game. And now it's foggy, so we can't admire Texas. We'll do a mile an hour over. Nobody's going to care. Especially in Texas. Pretty sure like I said, it's been a while since I've been through Texas, and I think if you weren't doing at least 5 over, you were getting run over. Let's see here. This lane should go to Austin. Yep. In fact, the last time I was in Denver's been quite a while ago. And if you weren't doing 10 over, you were probably going to get a ticket for impeding traffic. I met some guys down there one place, and then we jumped on the interstate to go to where we were actually going to meet a bunch of other people. And we weren't in the far left lane, but we were in the one next to it. We were doing 95 and still getting past like we were parked. Just unreal how fast people were driving. And I've spent so many miles now driving truck and only doing 70 that I only do 70 in my personal truck. Didn't mean to drop it down that much. At least the fog's lifted a little bit. It's kind of interesting highway here. I've not been to Austin or Waco in real life, so I don't know how accurate this is. But they generally do a pretty good job getting the main features like that correct in the game. And I actually could probably turn the traffic density up a little bit, as I had all that stuff set on low to make it run smoother. On that home out on the Grange. Speaking of ZZ Top, they're actually playing in Idaho Falls in May. And it'd be cool to go check them out. Sorry, car 27, but you're just not even doing the speed limit. And then the speed limit goes up. naturally. Now, are you going to do 70, or are you going to stay sticking it whatever you were doing? Oh, it hasn't sped up yet. That's kind of weird. Barbecue bacon melt. I'm sure in Texas we could probably find better barbecue than a Wendy's. I would hope. Although I have been to some barbecue places where Wendy's would have been better. Car 27 again. That's something a lot of people do in real life. They'll drive a certain speed under the speed limit, and the speed limit will change and they won't change their speed. Yeah, definitely happy with the way the 3060 graphics card is handling everything. I said I got the I have my desk set up so the monitor is on the desk, and then I got the TV for the Xbox just mounted to the wall right above the monitor. That way when I stream from the Xbox, I can watch all my software on the computer monitor. Well, I've got ATS running on the computer monitor right now, and then OBS and YouTube are actually up on the TV, so that's... I need to remember now to look up to see if there's any comments. But now I can actually, when I stream a game on the PC, I can see my audio levels in OBS without exiting the game. I can see how my YouTube connection is doing without exiting the game or minimizing it. There's a chopper. Get to the chopper. Which, really happy with the way the setup is working now. And I should say, this isn't a gaming channel. So, the streams are just for fun. They're not... like, if I had the resistors, I could actually live stream soldering the lights into the controller. Because I could just change where that camera's pointed at and live stream working on my RCs from the office, which is something I'll probably do in the future. I tried live streaming a build, but between internet problems and some computer problems, it just didn't work out. But hopefully we'll be getting some new internet soon, because TDS is putting in fiber optic in our part of town. So as soon as we can get hooked up to fiber internet, my internet connection will be better, so my streaming will be smoother. It also won't take so long to upload, videos. So that'll be nice. We can bypass. I have cruise control set on the keyboard binding, not not on the controller. The tag axles and lights are on the keyboard. Some other functions are on the keyboard. Turn signals, light and high beam, windshield wipers, gear change, all that stuff is actually on the controller. And the parking brake's on the keyboard as well. And are you going to merge right? Nope, you're going to merge dumb. That is one of the frustrating things of being oversized, is if someone's next to me, I can't get over. You know, that's the polite thing to do, is to switch lanes, but there have been a few people who've about merged into the load until they actually glance out the window. You know, this is a 53-foot trailer, and even though that car is ahead of me, you can't see it. Truck does have some bright lights on it though. 6:45 and you can already see them on the road. Yeah, really happy with the way my setup is working now. And besides the better graphics card, I put in a lot bigger power supply. As I had thought, between the small graphics card and the small power supply, the computer was running on the hot side when doing stuff like this. And 300 more watts of power supply power and a better graphics card. It doesn't sound healthy. So I went from a 550 watt power supply to an 850 watt power supply, and a 980 graphics card to a 3060 graphics card. And that's definitely smoothed things out quite a bit. The computer runs a lot cooler. And the Filmora editing software I use can actually use the graphics card to help render the videos when you're compiling them. So it should really speed up how long it takes after I'm done editing it for the software to do its thing and make a completed video. Some quiet Drake breaks outside the truck. Never did adjust my side mirrors. But I kind of like driving outside. You can see the truck. Let's see here. Madison made us 20 grand. Excuse me. Oh, I pulled out far enough, it made him stop. Except I needed to turn there. Alright, guess we're checking out the rest area. Pit stop if you need one. Kind of hop the curb. It's a big old no parking area, jeez. Why them headlights are bright? I think they're double about what everything else in the game I have is. Come on, Caterpillar, you got more power than that. Ugh, excuse me. From one rail yard to another rail yard. Oh, goodness. Oh, just barely beat the train, too. Apologize. Got a frog in my throat or something. Well, since we're already in this lane, we might as well just stay here. What if we stop too soon? Or you just need to roll right through it. Seems odd to have dual gates on a truck entrance. You guys are burning midnight oil. Or late shift. Where is... where is the icon? Did we pass it? Okay, there it is. Jeez. We'll go ahead and park this one in. There's a visible wall there. And I know. Backing in from the exterior view is cheating. Terribly sorry about that. Something's got my allergies going. She's a little snug on that side. We ain't hit it though yet. Let's straighten that out a little bit. Otherwise we're not going to be able to even unstrap it. That's better. Not great. At least we're on the line instead of right up snug next to that trailer. Unload. Blow my nose. Not quite to level 50. Let's see what we got out of here. Trees. We're not going to California. Haven't been to Galveston yet. It's Houston. Already been to Lufkin. Haven't been to Victoria yet. Let's do rails. Yeah, let's do rails to Victoria. Oh, we didn't even have to move this time. Nice. Yeah. Those must be LEDs. Or projection. HIDs, excuse me. Of course, it's dark again, so Hopefully there's a rest area close we can hit up and make it day again. Because I know driving at night isn't exactly entertaining. You can't see the game. This should take us to that 2-hour mark for the stream. We'll let's see what's going on there at that mark. Got the lift axle down on the trailer this time. Put the old Caterpillar to the test this time. Although I think that paper was actually heavier than the rails. Yeah, there was a rest area we just drove circled around in. So we'll go up to that rest area, make it daylight. Nobody's coming. Yeah, those lights are way better than most of the stuff in the game. T800 utility truck. Don't see too many of those since most utility companies run Freightliners or Internationals. I don't think it's 65 through the rest area though. Yeah, that's a really giant no parking zone. Road. Brakes so good they make you bounce backwards. Let's at least make it daylight again. Or rainy again. Got a W900 there. That's quite the rest area. Must be more of a visitor center than just a rest area. That's quite the facility right there. I'd rather drive in the rain than in the dark. At least you can see stuff. Should have cut that wider. Also probably shouldn't block this intersection, which we're going to end up doing. It's a terrible place for a stop sign. You know what? We're going to get on the interstate. even though it looks like we're just going to get off of it. Yeah. Apparently we're getting off the World Trade Bridge. So I guess we could have stayed on the frontage road. Oh well. Oh well. Why is it telling me to get over the lane? I could definitely see where if you haven't been in here before, these kind of intersections would confuse the hell out of you. Yeah, definitely an interesting intersection for sure. I didn't think Texas got this much fog and rain. I think the game's weather probability likely doesn't take into account where you are in the United States. It's probably just a random probability no matter where you are that you'll get rain. It is green. Sweet. Alright, come on, caterpillar. I guess it's not that fast through here. Yeah, we're merging. Let's see here, we're getting off. Yeah, because that goes where we can't go. Yeah, the U-turn under the bridge to go back on the highway the other way, it's kind of interesting. Of course, I suppose Texas is big enough they can have humongous interchanges and not care. Just tuning in, this is GTM's T800, It is a free truck mod you can get on Steam. That's where I got it, at least. Earlier in the video, we were in a K100, which is also available on Steam. Yeah, we might change trucks again here in a bit. As soon as I get over, lane's gonna end. Yeah. Everything's still looking good. And I mentioned in the beginning of the video, we're kind of streaming to make up for no video upload this weekend. I was hoping some parts would have came in, but they didn't. So we're just doing an ATS hangout stream because I didn't have another video to post. Can't even tell if the damn engine brakes are working outside the truck or not. An inspection station. That's why we slowed down. I actually spent 40 minutes at a weigh station over in Income this week due to a paperwork mix-up. The trucks, when we bought the truck and got the oversized load permits, it had one license plate. Well, at the beginning of the year, they sent a new license plate and changed the permit, but the permit in the system didn't get updated to the new plate. So, spent 40 minutes standing around while that officer dealt with a couple other trucks, and he made a phone call and I made a phone call, and we figured out that's what happened. Is the paperwork I had didn't get updated. The truck had a permit. I wasn't paying attention. The truck still had an oversized load permit, but it wasn't tied to the plate that was on the truck, so that was a bit of a hassle. But the officer I dealt with was super nice. I've found pretty much if you're polite to them, they'll be polite to you. And in cases like that, I mean, computer glitches happen, something doesn't get updated right. So there's no point in making a big deal out of something that isn't a big deal. And the only reason I knew that we found that problem is because I was oversized coming back through Income. I had 2 deliveries and I had to go through the port on the way back to go to the other delivery. It's normally when I go through the northbound Income port or the westbound port that's now on 84, just after the 84-86 interchange, if you're heading west, I'm empty. So they don't actually check permits and stuff when you're empty. Yeah. Officer was nice about it. I get paid by the hour, so I just text the boss. I was like, hey, there's a problem with the permit, so I might be here a little while. And he dealt with the other driver. Then he got to me, and again, like I said, made a phone call. He made a phone call. We figured out that computer issue or something. So the permit just didn't get fully updated. Because the permit is also tied to the truck's VIN number, not just the license plate. So that causes the computer to throw a code like, wait, the truck has a permit, but the plate doesn't match the permit. But the truck's VIN number, or the new plate brings up the VIN number, which is correct, on the permit. So what the hell? So that kind of stuff happens. And again, if you haul oversized, you kind of expect to deal with the DOT officers more than if you're hauling just normal freight. Or not oversized freight, I should say. Because the game doesn't do it. But when you're oversized, the permits actually say you can't use an electronic device to bypass scales. So if you're oversized, you have to pull into every scale when it's open. I mean, if they're not open, you don't have to stop. And I'd imagine, depending on how far oversized you are and how small the port of entry is, I don't know why that guy was just sitting there. Could have went 6 times. So anytime they set up the portable scales, I actually hit portable scales more than I hit normal weigh stations, just because of where I go. So I deal with those guys quite a bit. And I've had them pull tape measures out a couple of times. They're either thinking I'm over height or over 12 feet wide and not have a pilot car. So I deal with them pretty frequently. And I have to say, in Idaho, because I can't speak for every state, but in Idaho, all the DOT officers I've dealt with, and the couple of highway patrol officers I've dealt with, they're friendly, they're professional. I'm pretty sure if you're courteous to them, they'll treat you with respect, and just, they know you got a job to do. They just want to do their job and then let you get on your way. The only Idaho officer I ran into, and I won't say I had a problem with him, is just because of his tone of voice and the fact that it was kind of cold and just a dreary, drizzly day, so he's probably tired of being out in the weather. And the way he started off, I kind of thinking the last truck he dealt with, the dude was a bit of a prick. As he was kind of in a bad mood when we first started off, but he asked me a question and I gave him my answer, and he kind of gave me that look like, why do I need to believe you? So I told him straight up, I was like, sir, I do not come up here enough to lie to you. I was like, this is where the pilot cars turned around and left me at. If that's incorrect, I don't know. Because it was going up to Donnelly, and up Highway 55, you have to have a pilot car. You have to have 2 pilot cars if you're over 10 feet wide. I was like 10 foot 3. Well, you don't need the pilot cars the whole trip up. You just have to get between Horseshoe Bend and I don't actually know where you're supposed to come out at, but there's a spot on the highway going up that way where you're doing 45. Sorry, guy. And then the speed limit goes from 45 because it's really narrow, and it jumps back up to 65. So I told the officer, I was like, that's where they turned around at. I was like, you know, the spot where you come out of the canyon, it opens up, and the speed limit jumps up. He's like, yeah, I know exactly where that's at. He said which road it was. I was like, okay, yeah, I don't know. I said, that's where they turned around, that's where they left me at. I said, I don't know if that's correct or not, sir. And once he figured out that I was being honest with him, and that, you know, I wasn't giving him lip back because he was in a bad mood, he kind of eased up a little bit, and he's like, okay, this guy's professional. He's not a dick like the other guy was, you know. So his attitude changed, and I would say he was in a much better attitude when I left than when I pulled up. Because again, I was courteous and respectful to him. I was honest with him. He could tell that. So he finally relaxed a little bit and knew that I was just doing my job, and I knew he was just trying to do his. So let's just be polite to one another and go about our day. So we did. I had a strap that got cut on me on the way up. So he's like, it's right where you should change it. And I said, well, I have a new one in the truck already. I said, I can absolutely change it right here, no problem. He's like, well, then why don't you do that? And as soon as you get that strap changed, you can head out. I was like, all right. Told him, well, hope your day goes better, and I'll catch you next time. And he's like, yeah, all right, you do the same. Drive safe. So again, I think your attitude and how you carry yourself and present yourself really is going to dictate how they treat you. If your truck's a mess and you look like a slob, you know, they ask you to bring in your paperwork and you've got it just a mess, they're gonna spend more time trying to find something wrong because again, you're a slob. You gotta yield. Jackass. What part of yield do you not get? The yield part. So, if you are a truck driver, you know, if you keep your paperwork in order, you know, I got a folder. I got the truck registration in, the IFTA sticker information, my over dimensional permit, and my over length permit, because they're 2 separate permits in Idaho. One says I can be up to 15 feet wide and 15 feet tall. And then the over length permit allows me to be up to 115 feet long and up to 129,000 pounds. Because the extra length and gives you the overweight permit is on the same permit. at least in Idaho. You know, I'm fortunate enough to work someplace that provides a uniform shirt, so my coat's filthy, but that's because I put tire chains on. And work construction, basically, so we're not stopping with the trailer out in the damn highway. So, I also don't wear flip-flops. I wear steel-toed boots because I have to when I'm in the yard. So, you look presentable. Your truck doesn't smell. Pretty sure that's how you don't have any trouble with the DOT. It's here. It wants to go there, so we'll go around this way and back in. There's some of those axles we could have hauled down here. So for me personally, I've not had, like I said, really haven't had any problems with. That's the truck one. Let me raise the trailer one. Yep. On those steerable axles, depending on the truck, like on a straight truck, when you put it in reverse, it automatically raises the axle. On a tractor, since the controls are usually on the trailer, it doesn't. Ooh. Got that a little close again, didn't I? So you'd actually want to pick those axles up before you back up, or else they'll turn and then you'll scrub the hell out of them. And if you're heavy enough, the game won't let you pick them up. Unless maybe they changed it in an update. I haven't really messed with it too much. Let's unloady. We're late because we slept. I'm going to take a quick break, so I'll be right back. really had to use the restroom. Alright, hey, we hit level 50. Legend. Okay. I actually think since the system's running pretty good, we're actually going to switch to my tri-drive Mac, and I got some new grill guards for it, so let's go ahead and check those out. Let's go back to this one, drive it, then we'll get loaded. I think it'll probably put us back in Dallas. Or whichever garage that truck's parked at. I always forget which it does. Let's see here, we should be back in Dallas, right? Yep. Okay. So let's find us. Oh, there's a service center right behind us, so let's head over there. And we'll check out. Now the truck mod, I got the Aussie engines and a passenger and my cat. Also have the better dashboard in this truck. And then this grill guard is a mod. But I have some new grill guards I kind of want to check out. So let's head over to the shop. Got the real wide front tires. I really like the look of the Anthem without the hood mirrors on it. It looks really good. This is a 8x6 configuration, so it is tri-drive. Let's see here. Does this say it's an exit? No, it says truck entrance. Shut her off here, and we'll go in. Refunded parts. Okay. I don't know what isn't in the... Okay. Oh, that's why. Alright, so let's go accessories. Bumper. So the Alley Arc is a mod, and LJ's mods allow you to get a lot of painted parts. So these Magnum bars are the new bars. So we got Chrome XE coated, which is going to be black. All right, so that's A. So, not sure what the difference between A and B is. Except maybe the ends. Oh, that's the bumper behind it, okay. Kind of like the looks of that. Let's go ahead and run that. Headlights. Hey Lowe's, how's it going? We'll check. Yeah, we'll throw that grill guard on it. Lost my beacons. Well, I had a light mod and that mod disappeared. I'm doing good. How are you? So let's go with those. And that's here. She's part of the SISL mods. So let's just get rid of her. And we'll go with the Triceratops we got from Wyoming. And what's the time? I got 12:22. Yeah, I really like the looks of that bar. PM. I got rid of my headlight strobes. Let's go. Let's see if we can find a heavy haul. I don't remember where those are at. Might not be any. Just say the Albaline. Yeah, let's get us the generator. Big old dozer. Big old crane. I don't remember where those new loads were. Let's see here. Wichita Falls, Lubbock, Fort Stockton. Okay. Let's see. Let's find Wichita Falls. We'll get it oversized. Let's see here. We can take that to Amarillo, or we can take the tank to Amarillo. Let's just do the massive tech part. So we'll quick travel up there. So you're quite early. Yeah, you're a day ahead of me. Still the 19th here. Okay. Right, let's go get us a big heavy tech part. Yeah, the 700 horsepower Mac pulls a lot better than that 650 horsepower Cat. I can go check it out a little later. We're going to run this massive tech part. kind of wish the big oversized loads were World of Truck contracts, since you have to go so slow anyways. That'd be kind of cool. And of course it would be a left exit, wouldn't it? Yep, have a good one. I should have used my turn signal to turn lanes. It seems very Texas, do 75 down a dirt road. Well, we are going for massive tech parts, so yeah, we just gotta find it. The Aussie sound mod for the Mac definitely makes the truck sound a lot better. A lot deeper tone. We got diff ratio of 355, first gear 1229. It's definitely set up for heavy haul. We're going to drive in the dark with a friggin' oversized. Should have paid attention to what time it was in the game. And of course, you can't sleep with these special cargoes. You have to follow it. You kind of have to follow the pilot cars. Yeah, we know. You guys did a terrible job strapping that down. Okay, should probably get some lights going, get the beacons on. Yeah, they don't even have beacon lights on the trailer. So how are we going to get out of here? Don't know if there's a gate over there or not. So this one might be tricky just to get out of here. Yeah, we'll make it, I think. Yep, we can squeeze through there. So I think the cube's 24 by 24. 24 feet long, 24 feet wide. Widest I've personally have been is 18 feet, and that was with a mobile home. Hauling trusses, 1310. It's pretty much maximum. And that's for a couple of reasons. At least in Idaho, if you're over 14, you need 2 pilot cars, one in the front and one on the back. But the primary reason we kind of cap at 1310 is that's pretty much as tall as we can build on our tables and run through our finish roller comfortably. You can go up to 14, but that doesn't leave you much room if the truss gets cocked in the finish roller for error. So 1310's pretty much our maximum truss size. Height we can go. Length, we can do pretty long. The table probably can do more than we could actually put on the truck. 80 foot's kind of our max. With the trailer I have now, we can probably go up to 90 comfortably. And a 90-foot long truss on a 70-foot trailer would probably put me, well, I know with the 80-foot truss and the T800, that put me up around 96 feet long total. So I'd probably, with a 90-foot truss, would be getting up around 110 feet bumper to end of load. So slow load in the dark. If I'd have paid attention to the time better, I'd have slept so we could have driven in the daylight. Although, on a load this size, depending on where we're going, moving it during the dark would actually be better because there'd be significantly less traffic. Especially through towns. It just would look cooler in the day. I really need to figure out how to get console commands enabled so I can just set the time. That way it can always be daylight. You can't enjoy the scenery in the dark. But I am hoping, I got some 70 footers coming up soon. Well, they're 68 foot wall to wall, and then you add 2 foot of tail on each end, so over 70 feet, 72 feet long. And they're capped at 10 foot tall, but they're trusses to a house that has an attached gymnasium. It's a humongous house. And I'm hoping that I can get the boss to bring his drone out and meet me at the job site and film getting those backed in. It's not going to be super hard, but I just think the drone shot would give a lot better perspective for how long the 72 feet of truss is, especially in a residential area. So I'll be sure to, once I know when we're doing those, I can tell him so he can schedule to come meet me. It's just in Twin Falls, so it's not like he has to break away and go a far distance to come check it out. I'll make sure to bring my cameras with me so I can get a couple of different angles at it. So those will be coming up, I think, probably in the next week, maybe 2 weeks. that should make for a pretty neat video. I know the truss videos don't get a ton of views, mainly because not a lot of people think about that kind of stuff during house building. I know there's people who do a lot of foundation work or dirt work for housing, but I think if you actually type in trusses or truss delivery, I'm pretty much come up first thing in the list, which is kind of cool. The fact that my bosses are cool enough that as long as I don't waste time filming, like if it takes me 10 minutes to get a shot, that kind of aggravated them, but you know, take a minute to slap the camera to the mirror or the cab of the truck or whatever, they don't mind. As long as I'm not wasting time to get my shots and I'm projecting as professional as I can be, then they're cool with letting me do it. And technically it's free advertising for the company because they're not paying me to make the videos specifically. So free advertising is free advertising, right? Or any press is good press, I guess, is the other saying. The cool thing about these loads are they of course fill the truck up to make sure you have enough fuel to get where you're going. Alright, why are you slowing down, cop? You're bothering me. I need to see if there's a mod to change the police escort to an actual escort vehicle. But to me, these kinds of loads are the most fun in the game. The real big oversized loads or the real heavy loads like the transformers. That's how you really boost your numbers on the World of Trucks contracts, is you just do all the heavy stuff. So while I've only done 101 World of Trucks contracts, I've hauled a significant amount of weight because I think I did 3 or 4 in a row that were them big transformers at 129,000 pounds apiece. Of course, by the time we get there and unload it, might be daylight again. Just driving in the dark. Just riveting content, I know. Just tuning in, I had hoped to have a video out soldering some resistors to lights and getting the light kit working on the Grand Hauler. Those have not shown up yet, so no video on that, and I'm not happy with the lift axle I made for the truck, so just no upload this weekend. I upgraded my PC a little bit. I got a new graphics card, an NVIDIA 3060, and new power supply. Jumped up from a 550 watt power supply to an 850 watt power supply, and performance is much better than it had been. The computer's actually running cooler with the bigger power supply. I think it was running hot because I just barely had enough power supply to run what I had. So now I can run the game. Why are you stopping, asshole? Keep going. So now that I have the horsepower to run everything at higher graphic settings, it's really nice. I don't know if the traffic spooked him or what. But we can do 40 mile an hour. It's no problem. We're in Texas. It's not like we're climbing over a mountain. There's no such thing in mountains in Texas. Which is why I thought it was funny when we moved my aunt from Las Vegas to Texas. Or not Texas. From Las Vegas to Missouri. We had to go through Texas, and you go through Arizona and Nevada, and you're going up over the Rocky Mountains, and you're avoiding potholes that'll swallow a car. And the speed limit was, at the time, 75. You got to Texas, and at the time, the speed limit dropped to 70. The road went straight, and you could see to the other side of the state. And I was like, that's why Texans are bad drivers in other states. But now I know that the speed limit in most of Texas is probably 80 or 85. Although I'm sure there are in areas, if you're not doing 90 or 95, you're getting run over. Because for some reason, Texans are always in a hurry. I always get supremely concerned when I pass a Texan in an 18-wheeler. Or Californian. Or someone from Utah. Because in Idaho, if you're in a car, you can do 80. So if I'm passing you in an 18-wheeler doing 70, that's a little strange. It's really kind of disconcerting, especially since, most of the time I see them in the summer, so it's not like the roads are bad. Most of the time, you barely can tell what license plate they have. Those states drive past you so fast when you're in a truck. Yeah, we got a line behind us. See, that's an actual pilot car, so I'm not sure why the lead vehicle's a police vehicle. They both should just have amber bars on them. The company we use for oversize when we get to eastern Idaho, the one guy has a minivan, the other's in a Prius. The lady drives like a Buick Envoy or something. One of them has a Caprice. In fact, his actually has a push bar on it, so I think he's using an old cop car as a pilot car. And I know there's a couple of guys in Idaho with Chargers, old police Chargers that are pilot cars. Which makes a lot of sense because the cop cars are already wired up with heavy-duty electrical system. They already generally have holes in the roof for light bars to begin with and radios. So, ex-police vehicle makes for a pretty good pilot car because you don't have to drill a lot of holes to get all your stuff mounted up. They're already kind of pre-equipped to run light bars and radios and everything else. That push bar makes a pretty good mounting point for the height poles some of them have. Excuse me. Yeah, I've seen just about any vehicle on the road I've seen as a pilot vehicle. Maybe not a Mercedes-Benz or BMW. Jeeps, half-ton trucks, 1-ton trucks, 3/4-ton trucks, lifted trucks. A lot of SUVs. I know the oversized load company ATS. A lot of their pilot cars are actually those Mercedes-Benz or Dodge Sprinter vans. Seen quite a few of those. I think there's a gal out of Twin Falls that's actually running a Suburban. Why did we get off to get back on? That didn't make any sense whatsoever. I mean, if there was a low bridge, that'd make sense, but since the highway goes over everything, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Game's weird sometimes. Well, on some things, you wouldn't know if you've never driven a truck or hauled oversized. Like always having to go through the port when you're an oversized load. Even a lot of regular truck drivers don't know that. If you're oversized, you have to go through the port all the time when it's open. At least you can see the load when we go underneath the street lights. Lane change maneuver. That was a terrible lane change maneuver. You're supposed to wait for the back car to get over too, but since the game doesn't have oversized load mirrors, unless you're outside, you can't actually see the tail car. Are we going to clear that? That's the question. Look like it. Here's another helicopter. Not going to try looking for it right now. Yeah, we'll trim some trees. Yep, broke those branches. I do that a lot at my job, because of course we're in residential areas all the time. So most of those places aren't trimmed for trucks. Yeah, barely. That'd been pretty funny if the game actually had you go through a route where the load don't fit, load clip through the bridge. I'd find it funny. That's actually most of this truck's miles are these special hauls or the big transformers, big cat dozers and stuff like that. Alright, are we going to just chill out here in the left lane, officer, or are we going to scoot over? Apparently we're just chilling in the left lane. You do have to really watch your speed on caught the guardrail that time. You do have to watch your speed on these special hauls, because if you speed, it'll cancel the load. If you try to go a different route, it'll cancel the load. So these loads you're pretty much stuck doing 40 the way the game wants you to go. Even though I'd imagine there's probably better routes we could have taken. Now we're just chilling in the left lane because we got a left turn up here. Which is something I do when I'm oversized. If I know I have a left turn coming up, I'll try to get in the left lane as soon as possible. Okay, he's gonna block traffic, so I guess he's not piloting us anymore. I should have dropped a lot more gears than I did. I don't know who he's beeping at. Oh, maybe the traffic's beeping at the cop to get out of the way. And I know some people will say that since I'm oversized, I should stay in the right lane as long as I can. Or as a truck driver, I should do that. When you hang the oversized load sign on the truck, or you have placards on the truck, people's IQ drop a lot. And it is way easier for me to get over in the lane as soon as I can. Then try to stay in the right lane and get over last minute. Because as soon as you turn the turn signal on, everybody behind you wants to speed up and get around you and not let you over with oversized loads. So that is why I do that. And if you see any other drivers doing that, that's also probably why. Is they know where they're going, they know they have a left turn coming up, so just get in the left lane and let everybody pass you on the right. I do like that grill guard. So I think we're gonna call that as a stream though, since we're getting close to the 3-hour mark. We're at 2 hours 45 minutes. So let's go ahead. We'll exit out to the launch pad and I'll show you the mods I have. Synchronizing roll to trucks. So I'm up to 51 mods because I added some trucks in, and those new bull bars. Mac Anthem Magnum bull bars, those are the ones we just checked out. They are really cool. The WCW International Lone Star rework, forget what all it does it say. New configurations and parts, so different sleeper options, makes cab deflectors optional on all cabs, adds extra cab deflectors, wheelbase changes, paint matched versions for all, different tanks. So I'll have to check the Lone Star out again. We got the Superliner by Dialing Woo. That's the only one I have that's not available on Steam. That one you got to get off the SCS forums. International Plastic Parts. That just allows you to paint more stuff. The improved Anthem dashboard. The international add-ons. The truck. The DLC compatible stuff for it. Rework, painted parts. The Ford 9000 LTL. I can't get it to work. So it's active, but I can't find it in the menu anywhere to buy it. The Alley Arc bull bars. That's just a silly skin pack, some sound fixes, weather sound and effect mod. Multiple trailers and traffic just increases how many other doubles and triples you'll see. Smarties wheel pack. We got Corby Mannix steel flatbed, the Coronado, the Alcoa wheels, super nice. The CHU 613 and some paint jobs and some style packs. Mark's flatbed cargo variety adds a bunch of cargo. It's kind of really cool checking out. Mod if you want it. Reload your game. Skin pack for the CHU. Truck fixes and edits kind of make all the mods work because the original author quit making the truck. The International cab over. The Australian spec engines. You got 435, 500, and 553 horsepower with the 8, and then you can get up to 700 horsepower and 2,300 foot-pounds with the MP10. And it comes with a couple extra transmissions. Again, really kind of cool. No damage mod, pretty straightforward. SISL's Mega Pack, that's where you get all the weird add-ons like the passengers. You can actually get some Star Wars characters as passengers. Fast XP is, I used it with the money mod, and that's just how you can level up so you can get the better trucks faster. Well, that's a very active description. Thanks, dude. Metallic paint match for trailers. If you pull van trailers a lot in the game, this unlocks all the factory metallic paint options for the trailers. So if you want your shiny metallic paint on your truck, you can match your van trailer to it. Real companies at gas stations, real advertisements. The Mack Ultraliner I didn't turn back on, but the Kenworth K100 by Overfloater. It is on Steam. Lone Star Not Pink, that just edits the cabin in that truck. The Auto Car, I have the sound fixes, but the actual truck mod disappeared. I'm not sure what happened to that. Make it sound packed. Then International HX520 mods, forestry parts and stuff. FLB. Harvin makes some good mods. I like his realistic mirror FOV. The money mod. That's how you get rich. R Series Mac I turned off. I just quit using it because I like the Superliner better. And then GTM's Kenworth T800. And then the Forest Machinery Pack, which is all the DLC stuff to work on the T800. International HX520. We were just driving the 48-inch sleeper 8x6. Accessory parts by LJ. He has all kinds of cool parts for all the trucks. Definitely, if you want more accessories on your truck, definitely the mod to get. The Argosy, and of course the X-Guard bull bars for the Mac. That's what I'm running. Let's go ahead and pop up there. So, thanks for hanging out with me. I always appreciate it when people check out my videos. Hoping next weekend I'll have my resistors in so I can get the light kit working on the truck finally. I'll tweak the lift axle, so we'll have a video on the truck next weekend. And other than that, hope everyone has a good day. Hope your weekend went well. Be sure to subscribe so you can check see anytime I upload content or go live, and be sure to like because it helps out with the algorithm, which you should do on all the videos you watch unless you hate them. Then don't like them. But otherwise you should leave everybody a like because it helps.